Assalamu alaikum grade 5. Today inshallah we will learn how can we compare and order fraction. To compare fractions we have three cases. The first case when the denominators are the same, common denominators, like this example 3 out of 8, 5 out of 8. So in both fractions the denominators, the bottom numbers are the same, 8, 8. So in this case only we compared the top numbers 3 and 5. Which is greater, 3 or 5? Excellent, 5 greater. So in this case 5 out of 8 greater than 3 out of 8. The second case, when we have common numerators, only the top numbers equal, like 1 out of 6, 1 out of 2. In this case we compare the bottom numbers 6 and 2. Which is greater, 6 or 2? 6. Excellent, 6 greater than 2. So in this case the big denominators make a small fraction. So 1 out of 6 smaller than half 1 out of 2. Why? You can see this in drawing. See, only one part out of 6 parts is smaller than one part out of 2 parts. Okay, we have here this example, 3 out of 8, 5 out of 8, 7 out of 8. The three fractions have the same denominator, so only we have to compare the top numbers 3, 5, 7. 7 is the greatest one, then 5, then 3. This example we have two fractions with the same numerator up. In this case we compared the bottom numbers 3 and 4. 4 is greater, so 1 out of 4 make smaller fraction. So in this case 1/3 greater than 1/4. Now we will come to the third case. The third case when we have unlike numerator and denominators. What we have in this case, we have three ways. The first way is to draw the fractions and compare, and the other two cases we will explain it now. How we draw? Look here to this example. You can draw picture, then compare the fraction. Okay, the first fraction 3 out of 4. The second one 5 out of 6. So we want to draw these two fractions. How we draw it? Draw two identical rectangles. The first rectangle divided into 4 equal groups and color only 3 parts. The second rectangle divided into 6 equal parts and color only 5. Now after you draw you can see which is bigger, 5 out of 6 or 3 out of 4. Good, 5 out of 6 is greater than 3 out of 4. This is the first way we draw. Now the second way. The first way drawing, the second way use the least common denominator. Least common denominator is the least common multiple. What we mean by that? Let's practice we want to compare these two fractions. First one 3 out of 4. Second one 5 out of 6. The same fractions we comparing using drawing. Now we want to use the least common denominator to know the answer will be same or not. Okay, in this way we are caring about the denominators. The denominators here, who can tell me what is the denominators? Excellent. It's 4 and 6. Look at the bottom numbers. 4, 6. What we want to do here? We want to find the multiples of 4 and the multiples of 6. Multiples of 4, 4, 8, 12, 16, 24. This is a skip counting by 4. The multiples of 6 equal 6, 12, 18, 24, and you can complete. Now, after you write the multiples of both numbers, can you give me a number common between the two multiples? يعني it means number we can find it in the multiples of 4 and multiples of 6. Yes, there is a 12. Excellent. So here the least common denominator or the least common multiple, it's a 12. After I know that the least common denominator equal 12, now I have to make both denominator 12. Remember the fraction we have 3 out of 4, 5 out of 6. So these 4 and 6 we want to make it a 12. Let's work on the first one, 3 out of 4. 4, how can I make it a 12? Multiply what? Excellent, multiply 3. Also, I have to multiply the top number by 3. Remember the equivalent fraction. To keep the value of the fraction same, you have to multiply the top and the bottom number by same whole number. So once I'm multiplying down by 3, up also I have to multiply by 3. So 3 by 3 equal 9, 4 by 3 equal 12. Now the second fraction, 5 out of 6. 6, I want to make it a 12. How? By 2. Excellent. We multiply also the top number, 5 by 2. Now 5 by 2, 10. 6 by 2, 12. The fractions now I have it, 9 out of 12, 10 out of 12. Same denominator. You have to compare only the top numbers, 9 and 10. Which is greater, 10 or 9? 10. Excellent. So 10 out of 12 greater than 9 out of 12. This means 5 out of 6 greater than 3 out of 4. One more example. Compare 5 out of 12, 3 out of 4. The numerators and denominators are not the same here. So we want to use the least common denominator. Okay. The first step, find out the multiples of the denominators. The denominators here, 12 and 4. Okay, the multiples of 12. It's 12, 24, 36, 48. The multiples of 4, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Good. Now, who can tell me what is the common multiple between both numbers? Excellent, 12 and 24. Okay. What number we have to choose? 12 or 24? 12. Good. Why? Because we want the least. 12 is the least here. So 5 out of 12, 3 out of 4. I want to make 3 out of 4 number out of 12. How I make 4 12? Multiply 3. Excellent. Also I multiply the top number by 3. So 4 by 3, 12. Up 3 by 3, 9. So 5 out of 12 or 9 out of 12, which is greater? 9 out of 12. Excellent. So 3 out of 4 greater than 5 out of 12. Now one more example. Which one of the following fraction is the largest? we have 4 fractions and we want to know which one is the largest. See, all the denominators here are different. We have 36 in A, B we have 9, C the denominator 6, D the denominator 4. So before I start comparing, I have to make the 4 denominators same. In A it's 36. Now in B it's 9. Can I make 9 36? Yes, by 4. Excellent. So multiply 7 by 4 and 9 by 4. Now C, it's 5 out of 6. Can I make 6 36? Yes, multiply 6. Excellent. So I multiply the top and the bottom number by 6. In D, we have 4. Can I make it 36? Yes, excellent, by 9. So now the second step, we have to multiply all the fractions to make the denominator same. Okay, let's check now the numbers. A, it's ready, 36. I will not do anything. For B, we say 9 by 4 equal 36. And also multiply the top number by 4, it's 28 out of 36. C, 5 out of 6, multiply 6 and 6. It's 30 out of 36. In D, the answer will be 27 out of 36. Now we have 4 fractions and all have the same denominator. So only we compare the numerator. 29, 28, 30, 27. Which is the greatest or the largest one? 30. Excellent. So 30 out of 36, this is the largest fraction. 30 out of 36, it's 5 out of 6, so the answer is C. Now the third way to compare the unlike numerator and denominator fractions. The first way using drawing, remember. The second way, least common multiple or least common denominator. Now the third way, it's the butterfly way. How we compare here? We have these two fractions, 3 out of 10, 1 out of 4. To compare these two fractions, we make cross multiplication. I multiply 1 by 10 equal 10 and I put the answer 10 up 1. 3 out of 4 equal 12. I put the 12 up 3. Now, which is greater, 12 or 10? 12. So 3 out of 10 greater than 1 out of 4. Simple. One more example now. 3 out of 5, 2 out of 3. Cross multiplication, 2 by 5, 10. 3 by 3, 9. 10 greater than 9, so 2 out of 3 greater than 3 out of 5. This is the butterfly method. Now, we want to practice more. The first question, what is the least common multiple of 2 and 3? Let's write the multiples of 2. Remember the multiples of 2. 2, 4, 6. The multiples of 3, 3, 6. So we have 6 up and down. So C is the correct answer here. Question 2. What is the least common denominator of 7 out of 15 and 2 out of 10? What is the denominators here? Excellent. 15 and 10. Okay, write the multiples for the denominators. For 15, 15, 30, 45. The multiples of 10, 10, 20, 30, 40. So the least common multiple is 30. Excellent. D is the correct answer. Now, question 3. We want to compare 2 out of 6, 3 out of 8. The easiest way and the faster one is to use butterfly method. Okay, let's do cross multiplication. 6 by 3, excellent, 18. 2 by 8, 16. 18 greater than 16, so 3 out of 8 greater than 6 out of 2. 2 out of 6. Or in another way, 2 out of 6 is smaller than 3 out of 8, so A is the answer. The last question. Here we have two fractions, and we know that G out of 14 smaller than 1 out of 2. So what we want to do, we want to find G, the missing number that make the value of G out of 14 smaller than 1 out of 2. Okay, now let's make the denominators same. Can I make 2 14? Yes, I can make it. How? Good, multiply 7. So 2 by 7 and also 1 by 7. 1 by 7, 7 out of 14. So once 7 greater than G, so G is any number less than 7. So it could be 5, could be 4, could be 6. So all of them correct. The answer D. Here it's very important to check this YouTube link.